on your path to reaching psygib status. So we're about to get started here, 40, and our first map that will be Corrupted Keep, a map that we know vengeurR has traditionally not only loved to play, but also been very dominant on. We'll see how this will go as we've kicked things off through psygib's eyes, actually. And you'll see these two meet up right away with the orb coming out. A nicely placed rocket, but it's going to be vengeurR that will get the slam into the wall and follow up with a nice LG. He's on the board first, 1-0.
Yeah, unfortunately, the initial rocket not quite clean enough for psygib, and vengeur's able to switch to LG and kind of take that first frag, but psygib had the opportunity to start off with a bang here, unfortunately going down. So big play there right off the bat. Didn't really expect anything else as vengeurR up one, able to grab the armor shard, and now making sure that dire orb is back and intact for the next fight.
Yeah, I mean, just given the fact that that was a single frag and there wasn't sort of anything beyond that, tells me two things, right? vengeurR came out of it a little messy, and then also psygib really, I think, just kind of was surprised by that. You know, coming through that hallway, it resulted in a frag. It was still a decent fight, but the fact that vengeurR wasn't able to convert a frag off the top of that was probably pretty good, boded well for psygib, but not that time as he's caught near Mega before it spawns. The LG from vengeurR comes out. It's an easy cleanup for him, and let's see if now we'll see some momentum coming from vengeurR as he tries to convert a couple frags here.
Just really patient, just waiting. psygib tries to double back, gets caught out, a little bit of rocket splash as well, and vengeurR still has the dire orb as a finisher if he needs it. Fighting for this next mega here a little bit too early. psygib has to get away, fade away, try bolt for some damage, but just taking so much machine gun on the way out.
That damage chips away. It adds up a lot. Oh, the mid-air orb. It looked like he was Mario punching into the air against the coin block. Unfortunately, it was psygib that was there, and 100 coins came up. That's a 1-up, and that means you're up by 1, 3-0. What an orb we just saw, 40.
Mamma mia, indeed. 3-0 for vengeurR. No fear, as he does scrape by the skin of his teeth with that frag on the heavy, but now getting a lot more damage, in better position here for this mega. And again, dire orb in hand as well.
There's some comments in chat about vengeurR being close to his monitor, but you don't understand, man. This is like full Quake immersion right there. Like, I gotta respect that, 40, right? You can't have anything. You've got FOV maximum right there. So I'm with it.
I didn't realize that people didn't know this was a VR game, because that's what vengeur's playing right now. Shouts to him as we get closer to 3 minutes in. vengeur's sitting pretty with a 3-frag lead here. psygib just trying to find some items to work with, trying to get some stabilization. And he is able to get a heavy.
40D, like vengeur's definitely, you know, he's playing, I'm not going to say cautiously, I don't know if I'd even say slow, but he's playing different.
It's the swag. He's not playing like the pop-off kind of vengeurR that we've seen. Maybe he is. I don't know. psygib takes out psygib on that one. As vengeurR using that dire orb to close the gap and take the fight to him. But you're absolutely right. We don't really see the, maybe finesse is the right word that we're used to seeing from vengeurR. And it's not that he's playing poorly. It's just he doesn't have that swagger about him. And somehow, interdimensional shotgun, don't know what happened, don't care. psygib puts up a frag to go back to 0.
That's really unfortunate. I mean, granted, vengeurR was pretty messed up. He was down to 22 points health after that last fight, but was able to get back up there. psygib recognized that vengeurR was hurting, was able to go in, but there was no other armor for him to grab. So it was good. psygib needed to get out of that -1 status, back to the goose egg. We have Peeker coming out, just a duck behind the corner, and vengeur's actually looking decent, having picked up that mega. It's going to go now fight for that heavy. An orb right in the face, and it will work out, but look at how low vengeurR is. He's going to recover nicely with the 25 and the 225 inside the red room. That will put him back up to 79-88, which means he can fight again, possibly chase this for the 5th frag. But yeah, I would agree with you, 40. I think it is, and that's okay. You don't, oh no.
psygib, please stop.
Oh no, that's the suicide number 2 this game, down to -1. But you don't have to play with that swagger. Sure, as fans, like we want it, we thirst for it. But at the same time, if your game is just like, I need to be back to the fundamentals, like play to win, right?
Oh.
It doesn't have to look pretty. You just gotta win.
Yeah, no, it's all about the dub, however you get it. And Again, I think it has to do a little bit with practice schedule and stuff like that, but Venger's still putting in the work and still able to maybe take this one. There's the peeker around the corner.
Wow.
And wow, that was easy. The peeker play a little bit ill-timed there from psygib. Hung on to it a little bit too long. Gives up the frag and the mega and the heavy. This is going to be real painful, Wheat.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a little bit of swag going on right there. Some nice rockets into the rocket room from vengeurR as he's now on the chase. In fact, he's going to give himself a little boost. Maybe feeling a little bit more confident here, 40, as the frag pace seems to be picking up, and so does the aggression. Hops over that rocket there for the frag.
God.
And another one orb to the face of the rocket. Where did this vengeurR come from? It was like his little brother was playing, and then he's like, all right, let Big Brother come. Hey, that was just a joke. That would never happen. This is obviously vengeurR. You can see him right there in that screen. But
everyone's shouting competitive integrity, Wheat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is more the vengeurR that we're used to seeing. I mean, he's using the Ranger passive beautifully, rocket jumping around to get spawn frags. He's using the Dire Orb to close the gap and do damage. And psygib just looks a little lost. There's no answer that he has to this kind of aggression. And the fact that it's perfectly timed, and oh no, the LG will push him down. psygib skirts away, does a lot of damage with the machine gun. And it feels like for the first time, psygib may have an advantage here. You look at the scoreboard, you think, well, 40, you're crazy, but it's got to start somewhere. The comeback has to start happening, and it's not going to be with that rocket in your pocket. What a play by vengeurR. Still hanging by a thread, but just making it as taxing as possible on psygib to try and get the frag, and he does. But even that was so close.
Yeah, that was so close, and psygib didn't exactly come out of there super healthy. It was not a clean bill of health from the doctor, and he did manage to get back to, I guess, on the scoreboard at 0, but Peeker's going to come out just to try to get that last little bit of damage. It will not happen as vengeurR retreats into the mega room and picks it up. LG out. It's looking for another battle here. It's a very, very close one, and it's the last little pellet that will do it, coming out from psygib to put him back on the board officially with the frag. We're here. He's had 3, even though it says he's only had 1. But vengeurR sitting with the 3 minutes left and a 8 frag lead.
Yes, I get warming up now, feeling a lot better. A little bit of rocket damage there, but I think he got caught off guard. He didn't realize he sent him through the telly. Takes a little bit of damage on the way out. Is able to sustain and grab the mega, but vengeurR's already in and out with the heavy.
Peeker coming out to play yet again, but it won't really matter. Although getting a lot of shots out. I don't see Peeker make that many shots. I didn't realize clips were that large or that big. So there we go. But yeah, the final seconds are slowing down here. psygib, I think what we saw here, rather from vengeurR, was kind of a slow game, you know, just starting off slow and steady, didn't want to see anything get away from him, and then just kind of turned up the heat. Now, slowed things back down again, so maybe it was just a window. Go back to what Avik says about playing Quake and it being a bit like boxing, right? A flurry of blows came out, and that resulted in a few frags, and then he just backed off because you've got the win, and it's all about playing to win. So, first map,
oh my God.
And patience, because patience can reward you here in Quake, as it did right there. There's another one as two quick frags come out of nowhere, 40, and I think that vengeurR's going to kick off this series with a very, very strong and loud statement.
Yeah, I mean, I think this vengeurR that we saw was a little more risk-averse, but he still utilized spawn frags, and oh my God, oh, that almost connected. That would have been gorgeous. But just using the ability to know, okay, I got you here, I'm going to spawn, you're going to spawn here, I have the rocket jump passive to cut you off, you have no items. So still textbook plays from vengeurR, but I don't think it's quite 100% swag that we're used to seeing quite yet.
Yeah, we'll get some good highlight clips coming out of there, but I mean, especially that jump in the air, mid-air orb was pretty sick early on. And as the final moments happen here, both players get a chance to show their swag. We got some frags getting traded back and forth. psygib's going to get on the board here, but I think the true score and the gap here tells the tale. Peeker even getting on there with one of their own, and that's going to be about an 8 frag game, maybe 9. We'll see what happens here, 40. But this is what I expected on Corrupted Keep. What I'll be looking for in the next game will we see a similar kind of strategy and approach from vengeurR? Right? Is he going to come out swinging, or is he going to play it slow, look for those opportunities, dash in, try to get a couple blows, and let that kind of lead him to victory?
Yeah, it'll be definitely interesting to see. We're going to go into Ruins. It'll be Athena versus Anarchy. But a strong start from vengeurR. I think coming out of the gate with this kind of victory is going to be huge going into the second map and the rest of the set. Momentum is going to be on his side. And glimpses of that vengeurR that we're used to seeing. Again, just utilizing the spawn frags well, knowing exactly where his opponent's going to be, using the rocket jump passive, taking less damage as the ranger to traverse the map incredibly fast. And the dire orb is the finisher, as you said. The mid-air dire orb Shoryuken that we saw to open up the game kind of in the beginning was beautiful.
It is pretty nice. We're going to get to see it here for certain in just a moment. And I think, right, dire orb came in big. vengeurR wasn't afraid to use it. He was using it offensively quite often, just going for any sort of direct hit, following up with either LG, there it is, bam, or a shotgun blast, and you'll probably see it a couple times. I mean, all the frags that we saw here, especially from vengeurR's side, were very much kind of in your face. There's another one around the corner, bam, or
Ooh.
Good game. And that will be game number 1 for vengeurR. So will he start game 2, which is going to be on Ruins, with 2 pretty fast light champs here, Athena on psygib's side and Anarchy on vengeurR's side. Are we going to see a slow start here, given the map and the 2 champions that we have? I don't know, but I'm kind of excited with what I've seen out of vengeurR so far here today.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to how he utilizes the rail, because vengeurR, when he's on and he's playing with that swagger that we talked about, he just hits some insane strings of rails through angles that maybe you didn't even know existed, especially on Awoken. I know we're going into Ruins, it's a little bit different, but still excited to see how he utilizes that rail. And on the flip side, as well as psygib. I mean, his LG is fantastic, but this is going to be a game where I think rail comes into play. As 2 lights, bigger map, traversing the map, you're going to have to open up the game with the rails and see kind of how you convert from there, be it rockets or LG, but very excited to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, control is going to be big here. Who's gonna grab what? Will one player have major items control over all of them? How's Athena going to use that movement? Just a lot here, and it will be an interesting sort of railgun battle. You mentioned some of those awesome angles that people can hit. There's a few here on Ruins, but you're dealing with some, you're dealing with some tiny bods. So, especially important to hit those really impressive long-range rails, as it can completely change the game here between 2 lights. So,
the predictions are rude.
What are
92% for vengeurR. No respect for psygib, huh?
I honestly, after the play that we saw there, it didn't start necessarily super high octane, but vengeurR made it super high octane. So I'm not surprised.
Well, we'll take a look. Predictions are locked, and we're locked into map number 2 between psygib and vengeurR right now. vengeurR looking for the 2-0 to take the set. psygib trying to battle back, send us to the 3rd as the decider.
As we're going to have psygib chewing away, grabbing that mega. And again, kind of really excited to see exactly what the strat is going to be here for Athena. Already used the grapple as a little bit of positional area. There's some nice audio cues to bump out of the teleporter and get some LG damage off. Now both players know about the timing of where they're at, and 2 big rails coming out right away from psygib. He might be able to go down and grab the heavy as well. It is still up. He's got vengeurR trapped. vengeurR gets nailed with the rail on his way down, and that's going to mean full control here for psygib. What a way to start off this second game.
Oh no, and this should be a 3rd, as vengeurR doesn't have anything to work with. Tries to get a gauntlet, maybe booped him, I'm not sure, but either way, psygib gets the 3rd frag, and this is a horrible start for vengeurR. Please be careful, vengeurR.
It really is. It's a really great start here for psygib. I mean, 4 frags in the first minute 15. And hitting just an enormous amount of rails. He's shooting a 62% rail, but it seems higher even than that. Following up nicely with that LG, and he's just not giving any room to vengeurR. I mean, what is the story here? Like psygib running away with 20 frags, or vengeurR figuring out a way to kind of stop this momentum that we're seeing from psygib so far, as he has just been on fire.
Yeah, I don't know. A little bit of LG damage from up above, as vengeurR has to double back for the rail, missing it initially, but psygib this is a different beast. This is the Psy God that we expected. But can he keep it up for another 8 minutes? I mean, endurance is a thing. You start off with a bang, but as ZSX always says, the silver lining for vengeurR is that those frags happen so fast, he has 8 minutes to come back.
Yeah, there is truth to that, right? You don't want that to happen in the last 3 minutes. So LG, from some weird kind of angles happening there, it is going to work out for vengeurR, and he's going to be able to stop it. And there it is, exactly what you were talking about, right? If you're going to be aggressive, especially, that is putting you open to more risks, and that means that it can result in another frag. So can you achieve 10 minutes of perfection with Athena on any map? You know, I think it's pretty hard, but that's also why I love watching those types of games. So we'll have to see what vengeurR does, as he's going to answer back with a couple rails of his own, and you know what that does to these two champs here. So again, it's kind of making this a cat and mouse, even though we're dealing with two players that can traverse the map very quickly. It is a lot about angles, a lot about like just waiting at certain positions and looking and hearing, looking for audio cues. I don't think about that. Hearing audio cues, and then positioning and or attacking as such. So psygib still with the really comfortable lead, 4 frags. We got 7 minutes left to go, but that momentum has been stopped.
Absolutely dead in its tracks as he's playing kind of a survival horror game, it seems. Just waiting around corners, trying to figure out exactly where vengeurR is and make his way slowly but surely to those lights, and almost getting tagged. vengeurR catches him out, just can't quite land the damage. That's going to be a slight opening for psygib here. But again, too smart to drop down and take the heavy. He knows he doesn't have the advantage. He doesn't have the ability yet because he hasn't really opened up the game with a rail or two. But vengeurR doesn't care. Oh my God! Right around the corner with the rockets, deletes psygib.
Really unfortunate, too, because I think he had the right idea, try to pop with the rocket as he came around the corner, but maybe miscalculated the speed, 40, I'm not sure, but that rocket was a pretty big whiff, and now psygib will wait out right next to the teleporters, found by vengeurR. vengeurR is not going to really fall for that trap, and he is able to get another frag. Now, this is a scary moment, right, because vengeurR is looking at what could be full control here with as much time as there is between the heavy and the mega, so he's got an opportunity to stop his opponent here in the rail room. He's going to come back out. He's keeping an eye and traversing around the mega area, and there it is, full control. Now, this is suddenly uphill battle for psygib, who's got to figure out what is the timing of everything, and how am I going to do this as he falls down to the heavy. It's nowhere near spawning, and he eats a rocket, making it a 1-frag game.
And psygib has he's turtled up so much. Granted, because vengeurR has so much map control, it's forced psygib to turtle up so much that just one rocket in the pocket deletes him, and he still can't really get on items or weaponry. I mean, he just picked up a tri-bolt and rocket, but if vengeurR gets in there, this might be doomsday for psygib here, as it'll be tied right off the bat. vengeurR coming back swinging real strong here. Decent angle there with the rockets and the follow-up. It's just homing rockets, Sweet. He's not letting you escape. There is no escape from vengeurR right now.
I mean, I can appreciate psygib's little grapple down to the bottom, but it didn't quite work out. But, got to go for it sometimes. It's going to be tied back up. These rails, they need to happen here. vengeurR's going to catch psygib down below with another just a shock of LG for the frag. That's going to give him the lead, and into the corner, followed up with a rocket, almost hit. But look at this chase. You can just see the aggression that's picked up here. We're going to get the inject coming out, looking for that final rail. Cannot land it, which is unfortunate because all of those look pretty nice. But he doesn't need to matter or concern himself too much. He can back off, regain control, and that's probably most important now that he's got the lead.
Yeah, maintaining the dominance over the map that got him back to this point and has the lead is important here. psygib tries to get a cheeky rail through the grate, nothing doing. Does get one as he drops down, needs to be careful. Hits a second one, and vengeurR in a bad way now, needs to be careful, and right up the jump pad. That one's easy for psygib. And also the spot almost converts with the rail. That would have been gorgeous.
That was nice. It's exactly what I think psygib needs to do, is look for those long-range frag opportunities with the rail. Oh, 2 nice rockets from vengeurR. psygib staying alive, but just barely outside of that teleporter. Is going to have to back off from there. That's going to mean vengeurR is going to grab that mega. But will psygib be able to grab the heavy? He knows that it's going to be up very soon. Great rail from the top to the bottom. He's in a great position to grab it. He's going to land a second rail. Is he going to go for it? Oh, up against the wall. He just kind of misses that grapple. He could have walked away a lot cleaner from that 140.
Yeah, definitely messy here, but he does still get the heavy, can grapple up for this Mega as well. And he does. He might push the situation. No, instead vengeurR will, but he misses with the rail and the nails just hammering down on vengeurR. But look at that. The reposition with the speed does end up getting his rail and making that worth it. And now he should take the frag as he does. Just vengeurR is everywhere psygib wants to be right now.
Oh, that was so rough. I mean, no armor at all. Just a quick LG down. That's a big pickup there for vengeurR as he's going to take the lead here. Now, one frag is not that big of a deal with 2.5 minutes remaining, but you can just see how vengeurR is playing. He's putting a lot more aggression in this matchup. He doesn't want to give psygib much room. Great rail. That's exactly what he needs to do to try to fend off this aggression from vengeurR, make him question whether or not he should keep barreling forward with just a one frag lead. Going to try to peek over the side, find another rail. He doesn't, and his opponent goes down to that heavy and picks it up. vengeurR grabs it and goes away. Now will he be able to grab full control with the Mega as well? Big rocket jump through the teleporter. LG out, a lot of damage on the way down. And in his face, rocket in the pocket. There it is, 2 frag lead now by vengeurR with 2 minutes left to go.
vengeurR just pressing the advantage, no fear, not letting psygib breathe, hitting a great rail, taking away all the items on the map, and psygib literally just running for his life, it feels like, most of this map, Wheat.
Definitely. And you could... I don't know if it was the same as the last game in terms of how vengeurR kind of turned it on, but there have been moments of explosiveness that I do think have come with confidence. I mean, psygib kicked off with that 5 frag lead that was absolutely incredible, but vengeurR keeping his calm, looking for control to kind of be his ally throughout the rest of this game, and it absolutely paid off. There was not much that psygib could do, and then it was just a matter of catching psygib out of position and capitalizing on those frags. So less than 1 minute to go, suddenly a 5 frag flip, and what you said that, you know, Dan said earlier in terms of like sometimes getting that little string of frags at the beginning, it's not the most terrible thing that could happen. It means that you do have time to bring it back, and in this case, that's exactly what happens. vengeurR's going to grab the second game, the series. We will go to game number 3, but I'm sure he's pretty happy to have taken this one convincingly.
100%. Just a fantastic ability from vengeurR to stay calm and say, you know, 5 frags in a minute, yeah, that looks bad, but I have a lot of time to get back into this, and that's exactly what he did. Clawing his way back onto the items, to full map control, to just bottling up psygib and not giving him any options.
He really isn't. You know, in fact, the number of times I've seen psygib in this back hallway is kind of scary in terms of your heat map of activity on this map. That's not an area that you want to have super filled out. Looked like we might have a gauntlet battle in the middle there, but these two play by different rules apparently, 40. So it didn't happen. There it is, 12-6, as vengeurR is going to take that game number 2. That will give him the series. We are going to go on to the third game. It will be played. But again, the series wins what's important. vengeurR was sitting on a 2-2 series win for so far in the season. That puts him at 3-2. Might move him up a rank as well, as he's sitting at number 5. But certainly you can tell as the player who's thinking a lot about his game. And we're going to be going on to map number 3, Awoken.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, again, I know we've harped on it a little bit about this isn't kind of vengeurR in peak form, but like you can kind of tell based on his reaction after the game, like not very satisfied, even though he just won and it was a great comeback. Like he kind of knows that like there's holes in his game, and that's just championship mentality, right? You always want to play perfect. You always want to just min-max everything. And I think he kind of knows that maybe there's some opportunities he's missing out on here, because it's not often you see vengeurR go down 5-0 in any map, let alone the first minute. And granted, he clawed his way back, but I think that's kind of the championship mentality he has of like, I shouldn't have let it get there. I shouldn't have had to come back. So it's interesting to see that and see the emotion on vengeurR's face. He does take the set 2-0 as we take a look at everything. But yeah, I think that's an issue. And again, I could just be making stuff up. He could just be like, oh my God, I'm so tired, it's late. But no, I think there's more to it than that.
Yeah, there was a lot of really interesting momentum shifts that happened in that game too. I mean, I think psygib was probably like, well, I need to use the rail in order to do really well in this matchup. And he got it first. And he landed some really nice rails, started off with a 62, almost 70%, and that was huge in getting those first 5 frags. And then also, if you remember, there was the frag where vengeurR was in the light rail, or the light room just next to the rail, and psygib rails, one from the top and one from the bottom, and that emotion that you were talking about in terms of vengeurR, I feel like that was the turning point for him. You know, getting hit with that frag, it tied the game back up, and then he just said, okay, I just need to play my game. It's exactly what he did. It was still a really interesting game, and we're going to go on to map number 3, Awoken. So we've got psygib on the Nyx and vengeurR on Doom. We both know that vengeurR likes this match as well, but what do you think we might see here?
I'm just wondering how psygib's going to play that Nyx. I mean, so often we see Kilson on the Nyx, which, by the way, don't let him play that anymore. Everybody in the league, I'm sure they know, right? But I wonder if psygib has a similar kind of plan of attack, maybe with the Nyx. I mean, Kilson probably one of the best in the league as a Nyx, regardless of the map. But interesting to see how psygib takes that approach, and especially against the Doom on Awoken. I look forward to kind of how he approaches this, even besides the fact that he's already down 0-2. Like, just as a fresh map, I wonder how he was going to kind of try and get his way into a dub in this one.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, I suppose you could say we've got mobility going for both of these players, but I think rail will come down pretty big, and then control, which I think vengeurR came out of that last map, and that was one of the kind of secret sauces of vengeurR in game number 2. The control was just so solid there in that mid game that there was not much that psygib's options were essentially, you know, they were gone. In 1 or 2. So we're going back in. Will we see the same game or something brand new? We're about to find out. 40, take us away as we're looking through the eyes of psygib.
psygib indeed on that rail. Strong start potentially if he could fire off a couple and immediately ghost walks. Does not like that situation. There's the punch. Can't quite get up the trampoline, and this is going to be free rails for psygib, but he can't maximize it. Needs to be careful. He's going to drop down onto an LG. Ill-advised psygib. Takes so much damage, but does survive. What a skirmish to start the map.
I mean, had he had any other weapon that wasn't a machine gun aside from that rail, I would have been all for that exchange. But he went, oh my gosh, he went in deep and then went in a second time in an exchange that looked certainly like vengeurR was going to walk away from, and he does pick up the frag to match that. However, it was a close battle. psygib did take the first frag. He's going to ghost walk yet again to just steal away that mega. I suppose it works out. He kept it out of his opponent's hand, and he got away unscathed from that one. 1-1 now is in our first minute. We've had an exchange, but no one really with the full control yet.
Yeah, interested to see if psygib will keep playing aggressive with a shotgun-style rail, or if that was just a panic mode of I have to get this frag to open up the game. Good tri-bolt, and unfortunately for him, just a little bit too late. The heavy will be taken. So decent steal from vengeurR, but psygib is able to grab the mega, potentially taking full control on the next cycle here, but he has to try and figure out where vengeurR is and make sure he doesn't give up too much weaponry.
It really is great that tri-bolt has kind of found its own place in the hand of our players on this map. I feel like I'm constantly sort of amazed by some of the damage that's getting dished out, and it's really nice to see. Anyway, we got a battle here at heavy yet again. Some rockets from the top from psygib, and he will end that barrage with a rail. Another one, and then he's going to go aggressive ghost walk. No, took the damage even though he had vengeurR very, very low. I guess it was just kind of the safety mechanism there, 40. I'm not 100% sure, but going up to the middle, very scary moment as rockets fly around both players. Somehow a rail, I don't even know how that one hit, but the LG to finish him off. That's going to be frag number 3 for psygib, and his persistence absolutely paid off.
Making the rail work. I'm with you. I'm not sure how that connected, but you'll love to see it if you're a psygib fan, as he does give up the mega, but at what cost? Big 91 damage rocket trying to get the frag. Both players weak. There's the punch, and he's out of there. Nope, not quite. Speedy boy, but not speedy enough, and you love to see that animation. It is always hilarious.
Oh my god, that was like the funniest thing I've seen all day.
He's like, I gotta go slay demons, bye.
Oh god, it's wonderful. psygib somehow still managing to keep some of this pressure on. Ooh, that is definitely the riskiest rocket jump I've seen all day too, but it won't matter. Perfect into the hallway, grab himself some health, and also that mega gonna wall jump up to the middle area to see if he can sneak in here and try to get some more damage off. As psygib holding on to a decent lead here of 3. We've got the Ghost Walk coming out. psygib decides to move back to the middle platform to try to get in his opponent's face. I'm not sure that I've seen these Ghost Walks be super beneficial for psygib, but he's staying alive, and I guess that's the most you could ask for.
Yeah, can't complain too much, but definitely not using them in a way to gain any kind of advantage, it seems. Just staying alive, and after that rocket, he can't stay alive. vengeurR plants him, picks up his second frag. Good rail off the spawn. Should be able to push in here, but does need to be careful. Not too healthy, so instead just a warning rocket, and he'll scurry on off to try and get more resources. But decent play there from vengeurR.
It was. I think that was probably a good decision to disengage there, right? Great moment to get what weapons you don't have. You had no major items about to spawn, so there was a little bit of time. So rocket jump up to the top as Mega's about to hit. There's a nice shot of the LG and a good rocket to answer back, and vengeurR suddenly super low. Now he desperately needs some sort of health. He is going to grab that 25 there. Still looking for a rail angle, and he finds it around the corner. Is there a second to follow up? Oops, dodging that tri-bolt. He does get the follow-up one. And is he going to chase that one? Looks like he is. Both players so low 40, but still being so aggressive.
And you can't help but think psygib was wondering, come on, damn it, the tri-bolt should reach, because he had him dead to rights. But unfortunately, vengeurR, fancy footwork, stays alive. psygib does have the 2-frag lead still, but vengeurR slowly starting to chip away at the control and starting to get back into this.
He does have 5 minutes left. Both players 5 minutes. That's a lot of time. Seems like we've been playing for 10 minutes, but a lot of time left. 2 frags. I think what will be pretty important here is, hold on, we've got another fight at the Mega. LG's coming out for both sides. And Ghost Walk is up. We've got Rage coming out. Berserk. Let's go nuts. We just jam for a little bit, and that's going to be it. A big rocket coming around the corner. These exchanges have just been, I mean, in some cases, what's the word I'm looking for? Like awkward? I don't know, right?
Disgusting,
like almost,
sloppy, reckless.
No, I wouldn't say sloppy. Because both players are kind of reacting, I think, to a situation they're not necessarily expecting. But the fact that there's been so many is a little surprising.
LG from above, he's just trying to find the damage to finish the frag, and can he do it? Oh my god, what a rocket!
That was big.
That was just such a dunk from so far away. Beautiful rocket from vengeurR. Still down by 1, but again, momentum in his favor. Mega to his back. He's going to have full map control now. Now it's just a matter of biding his time and finding the perfect trap to lay to tie it at 4.
I have a lot of confidence he's going to be able to find it, right? Sitting at control in the middle. He's got a nice health stack right now. Not quite full armor, but that is not going to matter as he's going to make his way over. He does get hit from the back as he goes to the heavy, but it won't matter. Rocket jumps over to the back to try to position him for the Mega. It's there. LG's coming out. psygib with a little bit better position from that middle, but not for the Mega as vengeurR grabs it. Now full control. Ghost Walk coming out. Is he going to choose the right direction? Wrong cup in the game of, what is it, the shell game? I don't know. He chose the wrong way. psygib lives to see another day. And it's still
I was thinking ball in a cup. That's a completely different game. I'm that old that I used to play with a ball in a cup. Still down by 1. vengeurR with some fancy movement there to cut off for the Mega, and psygib needs to be careful. Almost converts with that rail shot. We're starting to see some of the flicks I was talking about here from vengeurR, but he's got to land him. Less than 3 minutes to try and tie it at 4. And the hunt is on right now. Good defensive rocket from psygib. Big damage. Good rails exchanged. psygib's still weak. 25 HP. Grabbed a little bit of armor, but now he's stuck. And does vengeurR know? He almost converts with that rail.
That was so close. Suddenly, like, Ghost Walk becomes so crucial here. It's an opportunity for, wow, there we go. We're going to jam yet again just to steal away that heavy. I like it. That's probably the best case that you're going to be using it in this matchup. You can't rely on that to get your final frag. But psygib kind of holding on. I guess he did use that Ghost Walk there. Using it to see if he can possibly secure that 1 frag lead with it. So that's going to become incredibly important here in the final moments of this game. vengeurR's playing this one pretty slow, and I like how psygib's doing it. He's trying to play keep away a bit. Heavy is back up. vengeurR's going to grab it. Now, is he going to make his way over to the Mega? He's going to be a bit later. And no, he's not going to be able to get it. He knows it. And the last 2 minutes, the 2-minute warning goes off, and vengeurR needs that frag to tie it up.
And that's just a soul-crushing rail there for psygib. He is able to grab a light, but any rail will send him packing. He needs to work his way back to rockets, being very cautious now as he doesn't have any more, but he doesn't want to get caught out. Does vengeurR know? vengeurR is waiting on T-Con, just positioning well, and he might get some damage and scot-free for psygib. But now he drops down onto the heavy, but the Ghost Walk, as you mentioned, saved his life. Now vengeurR makes a mad dash for the Mega and gets railed into it as a pickup. This one is so close, Weed.
Very, very close. And vengeurR kind of lost his advantage going into the final moments. You can see psygib playing the angle game, trying to put himself into positions that's going to give him a defensive retreat. And vengeurR has to be thinking about that. Probably wise to keep that stack up as much as he can in case he does need to, say, rocket jump. Less than 1 minute left to go. Misses that rail. psygib lands his. Oh! Huge as vengeurR goes for the heavy, and psygib finds the angle and the frag, giving him 2 frags, and suddenly vengeurR has got to turn up the heat. He's going to have to go ultra aggressive to try to win back 2 frags in the last 40 seconds.
Trying to look for some angles, anything he can. 30 seconds, there's the cutoff, there's the Ghost Walk to avoid certain death. And nope! Oh, the telefrag!
It's over! It is over. Forty couldn't ask for like kind of a better conclusion. Great play by psygib. I mean, I think he was so patient, and he was playing smart, really making sure that he's using that Ghost Walk, and vengeurR, he stopped vengeurR in his tracks. What a great ending to that game. Congratulations to psygib for pulling a game away from vengeurR. I think that's, you know, that's something to be proud of. And you were right. You were right.
It seems to keep happening. It'll never happen again, but I'll enjoy it for now. Lethal, though. Let's bring back the our resident camper here. Hope the tent was good. Good to have you back, Lethal. What do you think about what we just saw?
Yeah, I enjoyed the tent. Cheers, mate. Thanks for bringing it up anyway. But yeah, it was a great matchup. psygib, I'm glad he clawed his way back to that 3rd map win. Of course, vengeurR's still looking for those 3-0s and not able to do it. It was, again, just a little bit unlucky using that, of course, the Berserker in order to go for that heavy at the very end. But I have to talk about Ruins as well. The fact he was 5-0 down and just brought him out just like that. Yeah. I think it's what you said, Fordy. It's the fact it's that championship mentality. He wants to win by large margins. He feels like it shouldn't be this close. But the fact that he turned it around so quickly, just as quick as how psygib started, was just unreal. But good plays from vengeurR nonetheless anyway. We're still seeing that spark come to fruition once again, and hopefully we'll see a lot more of that from vengeurR in the coming weeks.
Ooh, that inside out. Big one as we take a look at the summary. And yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, the bounce back, we figured it might be here, and that's kind of what we saw, but still not peak vengeurR. Everyone needs to be on notice, because once he hits his peak, that's when he is absolutely terrifying. But for now, as we mentioned before, just getting the dub is just as important. Takes the series 2-1 over psygib. And psygib coming up with his map victory, putting some money in his pocket. So, you know, not awful. Again, everyone wants to win 3-0, but in this league, that's just really hard to do. Unless you're Rafa, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, play to win is an incredibly important mentality. You know, it feels good to be nice, flashy. Oh my gosh, look at this 360 no scope rail shot. You know, that's awesome. Don't get me wrong. But winning is like the most important thing, aside from having fun, right? Because everyone's having fun when they're playing Quake. But no, in the QPL, that's how it is. vengeurR got the job done. If I was him, I'd be happy with the series win. Not so upset about dropping a single map. psygib did awesome. Deserves the praise that he gets for that final map. And it was good. I mean, certainly psygib brought it down to that last little moment and made this a great little series. So hats off to both players. I'm excited for our next matchup.
Yeah, fantastic. First featured match, but that means we have the second one on the way. It'll be Rafa versus Zinaku. Fantastic game to end it. But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.